Okay, I think we are live. Check my other screen too. I think they have some kind of, and that one is live. And that one you have to click on to get there, so there's no volume there. Okay. So everybody, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons when you come in. I would certainly appreciate it. And basically just doing another stream tonight. I did my first live stream last night, and I'm going to do the second one to that premise that I started on, foreign status, on next Saturday. But I wanted to come up tonight and do some playing around here and maybe answer some questions if anybody's got any. I know everybody is involved in some kind of turmoil or problematic situations that you're looking for questions or answers for. So please feel free. The link is in the chat there if you guys want to come up. Oh, let me see here. Maybe it didn't get there. Try this again. There you go. There's the link. So property tax, huh? Ask them to show you the business assessment. When they determine that property value and they determine that you're required to pay taxes, it's because the presumption is that you're running a commercial business out of that address. So you have to prove that you're not running a business out of that address. So them implying that you are taxable, they have to first prove that you have a taxing entity in operation with receipts, destinations of shipping, products, services, whatever, inventory. You'd have to have all that stuff. And if you've got none of it, then there's no evidence. So a lot of people attacking these tax roll agents, trying to get them to show them where they owe taxes. Specifically, they are required to provide a business assessment for the property value, because property value includes a business value. So in that property value that they're taxing you for, you have to determine where is the value coming from. Is it coming from the price of the dollars there? Or is that dollar value supposed to be determined by a business value of income? Because if you're not receiving income by, saying, renting out to somebody or something, then that's not a taxable property. However, if you've got a floral shop and you're running a floral shop out of the garage or something, then yeah, you've got a business tax. You've got to have a business evaluation. So you've got business documentation, you've got receipts and customer data inventory, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what you're oriented in as far as how you're writing that letter, but I would implore you to do some research on the business value of the property that is situated with your particular events, that proves that you're doing business. They have to make a claim that you're doing business. Otherwise, they have no valid claim. So what else? Bon Ivers, Laura, I man do not understand. Chatman 2012 BJ. Greetings. There you go. Misidentification without necessity. See, even if they pose that it's some kind of a business or something, they've got to prove that by the record that you are in fact a resident. A resident, being specifically defined in 19 USC 81.0, says that the only persons allowed to reside within the zone are federal, state, or municipal officers or agents whose resident presence is deemed necessary by the board. So if you haven't had that necessity determined to carry on business in that place as a peaceful non-combatant, then they're going to come after you. They're not going to recognize you. Well, I really wish there were more people coming up here because I really don't want to cut this short, but I don't want to sit here rambling and babbling like I accuse everybody else of doing. Kind of hoping I'd have a few more people that would know I'm on. I posted it. Let's see. Yeah, we still only got the 4 of us here. I don't know. Maybe it's Sunday night. I don't know. Yeah, Laura, it's important that we look up all definitions. It's imperative. Isaiah 54, verse 17 tells us to let no tongue prosper against us. Let no tongue rise up against us in judgment. For the inheritance of the Lord is the righteousness, this is the inheritance of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. So when we talk about debts in this fictional setup, we got to learn the different tongues and languages to be able to see what they're doing in reality, so we can dismiss it. Yep.
Oh, no, I've already poured it for you. I brought you the.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry about that, guys. But the thing about this thing I did on the stream last night, it's the foreign status. And a lot of people are doing a lot of different things that they really don't need to do. Like getting a passport. You really, in my opinion, you really shouldn't be getting a passport. Not just a matter of you don't need to, but you shouldn't be doing so. That's one of the biggest things that really irks me, is because people don't understand the concept they're playing there. If you think you need a passport to go to another country, you've been duped, because you need a visa to visit another country, not a passport. A visa is basically a communication that a gentleman has announced his presence and would like to come visit, and they extend you that visa saying you're welcome, come on over. The visa part, or the passport part, is the part that's disturbing, because that's the one that says you can't leave unless you identify. See, they want some kind of identification before you leave. And that's definitely not the way I want to go. I mean, there was a day you could buy a ticket and be fine going throughout the United States. Now they want your identification. Well, now it's the same thing as the passport. Then now they've restricted each of the 49 states as prisons. 48 states in Alaska, not technically seceded. So we got to think about this stuff and realize what they're doing here with all this identification, and trying to bring you into their jurisdiction as if you're domestic to that jurisdiction. And that's inherently false. We got a couple more here. I'm dropping my PayPal link in case anybody wants to help out. Let's see here. Kelly, thank you for stopping in. Freedom Fighter, greetings. And Will Carstairs, good day. I did drop the StreamYard link down there if anybody wants to come up and chat with me as well. So feel free to hit that. Come on up. Otherwise, I don't know where to go here, except to keep repeating what I've said over and over for the last 6 years. But when it comes to this foreign state status, again, like I mentioned in last night's stream, we've got to come to the realization that we're foreign to even our own family. the concept of paying no tribute to an earthly father, for there's but one Father which art in heaven, is the thing that tripped me up. Because in my whole life before I decided to stop and figure out this insanity, I'd been searching for my father. I come up in foster homes and was adopted, and so that part of my life was all skewed. And so I was looking for my father, and when I really realized what was going on, then I was being duped, and it was because nobody gave a shit about the man in this world today. And that's aligning with the culture that I see rising with this LGBTQ, and my firm assessment that the women I see today are being more emasculated, and men are being feminized. So when it comes to the passport and all that and the foreign state, it's just a matter of declaring that you're not part of that corporate fiction, that you're a natural sentient being, and you have to find the right way to express that. And so the document I went over last night was foreign state status, and we went over some very brief points in regards to the birth registration and everything. And then anybody that wants a copy of that, you can just send me an email, and I'll send you a copy of it. Make sure you let me know you want a copy of the foreign status. And so when you read the rest of that I didn't read on the StreamYard, you'll see that there's a bunch of case laws in there and stuff. And this is all information that I think people should read to familiarize yourself with the cases that have gone before us, and what has derived that we've still got a society of people that don't know that you have a right to travel, and you're not required to have a license or an identification. I don't understand that. So, greetings, disciple. Greetings, Supreme Torah. Greetings. The banking holiday. Yeah, banking holiday. Banking holiday. Everybody's a banker. Everybody's a banker. But if you're actually known as a banker and that's your actual profession, then they have a banker's holiday where if the banks fear that you're going to make a run on the bank, they can take an emergency holiday and just shut down the banks according to the law, and the banks won't lose business. How they get that, I don't know, but it's just a matter, actually I do know it's their military script, and they get to write the orders. It's their game. They get to make the money and all the rules and the community chest and get out of jail free. They get to do all that. So they don't have to listen to you. You're partaking of their monetary system. And if you want your own monetary system, to go back to the way it was before. Start carrying those silver and gold coins. Just deal with getting robbed and not having a police to come help you. We're dealing with the same thing today. We got police that are supposed to protect us, and they're not. What do you think is going to happen when that gold and silver comes out? You think the police are going to start taking that too? Yeah. So where are you supposed to put your true value in? By knowing what state you're really in. I've expressed many times that the states, having ceded their jurisdiction to the United States, and the United States is known as the debtor for obligations and other securities of the United States, they're located in Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C. has no statehood. So now all the states who seceded their jurisdiction to the United States now have no statehood, and they're professing they have some kind of statehood to require you to have an ID, so you cannot go outside of the borders without having an ID to perform business in another state outside of the state. That's the same thing as a passport. So when you come back in, they'll let you back in. They just don't have the border checkpoints at the state lines. They just kind of let up. They just kind of, we'll let them go by for now, but when we really want to tighten down, we've already got the secured border. You think the border ain't secured already? Come on. No, I do not have Cash App. My apologies. Like I said, I quit the system about 6 years ago. I lost my job because of the incident, And so I said, fuck it. They don't want me making money. They don't want me to have a job. So they don't want me to have a bank account. So I went to the bank and got my bank account out, and they suspended my license. So I said, well, they suspended my license, so I'll have to travel around as freely as I can until I can't any longer. So I kept the truck as long as I can and sold the car for money because I couldn't have a job. So I had to learn to barter and trade. And before I could fully learn to barter and trade, I had to sell off my truck. So it's been a hell of a life, but it's the life I choose. And I'm certainly happier for it. Certainly don't have somebody poking me in the back telling me get busy. Anything like that. So until I get my actual trust and everything set up, I won't have anything but PayPal. My apologies. Although I always accept cash and cash, check, and money orders as long as you wrap them good and send them to my physical address, which I use a care of address. And I've received money that way many times, wrapped in tinfoil. In a security envelope. You don't use just a regular white envelope. You use a security envelope. It's got the blue hashes and everything inside. It darkens it up so you can't see into it or through it. But again, still just put tinfoil around it. The machines won't read nothing. Let's see here. Nobody's got any other questions? All right. Well, I don't know, guys. I'm going to tee off here. I see Delete Laws is on. I'm going to go check him out and see what's going on there. Warrant redemptions. Make sure I know what you're doing here. Redemption warrant. Okay. Oh, okay. That sounds like the FS 24, FS 25, and FS 25A or something, where they do those release property and release of lien bonds. Basically, what you're doing is you're buying in a percentage of that bond. What happens is when they bring up a court case, they provide it's a fractional system. So they provide one fraction, and that's the case. That case or that identification. That identification then has different dealings in life. You as an individual are one of the fractions, one of the people that they use to enumerate everything. So you're one of the fractions, and out of that one fraction, you do several different things throughout your life. One of them being a criminal activity. You go through the court gets this document, and there's part of this birth enumeration system set up where you use that identification that they get to use part of that information. By allowing them to use that part of the information, they get to draw up a case and then shred it. And what that means, if you've gone to a convenience store and seen these advertisements on the wall, on the poster board of people that want to do lawn mowing or winter sidewalk care, stuff like that, and they have the little tags that you can rip off, that's shredding it. So when the court says they shredded something, it doesn't mean that they shredded it and threw away like our brother Derek exposed. What they're doing is they're shredding the case and they're selling off a piece of the case. So they shred off 10 shreds, you can buy a tenth of the case. So say the bond is $350,000 and you get $35,000 surety bond. You go pay that $35,000, that's your tenth. That's the bond. It's a warrant bond. But the warranty bond or a warrant bond, if you know what you're doing, you turn around on a $350,000 investment, you leave it out there, you take your income from it. Because you're now being recognized as the principal on a $350,000 bond that's being invested and making money. And that making money is supposed to be for you. While in the meantime, you lay on the equal consideration, equal benefit on the table for the court action that's coming against you, whether it's child support or paternity or traffic ticket or drug charge or anything. Whatever that bond is that case is working on, you're investing with it. So now it's equal consideration, equal benefit. And if there's any detriment, then all parties suffer that detriment equally. So now you're set to operate correctly. So if you have to suffer, then they have to suffer too. Well, what's the suffering if you got to go to jail? That's what tells you it's wrong, because they're not going to suffer by going to jail. They might convict you and say, well, you owe $1,000, but with the equal consideration, equal benefit, then that that prosecutor's got to get a checkbook out of his pocket and pay $1,000 for the beneficiary and $1,000 for himself as a trustee. So now he's paying $2,000 and the benefactor pays nothing.
Quit it.
Oops.
I said quit it.
It's truly an amazing game of financial chess. Divorce, you have to realize that was a trust operation, and you and your wife together cohesively contracted with the state in a contract that through a divorce nullifies you and your companion and that relationship, but it doesn't relate, or it doesn't relieve you of your relationship with the state, because she and her and you both are still carrying that state ID. So you literally have to divorce the state in every aspect, just like you would divorce your wife. All right. Well, I think we've been on here long enough for tonight. Like I said, just kind of testing out the StreamYard, trying to figure it out, and hoping I can get some people that want to come up on a regular basis. So we'll see. In the meantime, I am out. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Just playing around here, guys. Jerry Jean, does a 21-ounce silver bond recorded with the county clerk have validity in court? Doesn't even have to be recorded with the county clerk. You can just have 21 silver coins in holding with somebody else, and then come forth and present them in a silver bond to get you out of jail. But they got to come with a counterclaim. See, the problem with these courts is they're Article 1 corporate administrative courts, when we need the Article 3 courts. So when somebody does that, there are many different aspects. It's not just a matter of having 21 coins on you or $21 in silver in bond with you, but it's a matter of knowing how that whole system works, because you don't do that with a regular UCC claim. The $21 of silver coin is for the common law, so that you can place 21 silver coins on the table and have documentation to support that $21 that it belongs to you, and you have validity to bring a claim against this man who's brought a false claim in this administrative court. And it's basically federal removal to your own court rather than federal removal to the United States Supreme Court administrative court. It's removing you from all of the Article 1 courts, period. But again, it's the depth that you have to go to understand that. That's something I think people more today use as securing property, or creating a fidelity bond with the Postal Service or something like that. Because that's your true bank, Postal Service. They should be the ones with the lock boxes. You know, like a bank has a lockbox. They're the ones that should have the lockbox for that. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. I'm going to head out. Like I said, Brother Delete Laws over there is running his channel, so I'm going to go check that out. And in the meantime, thanks for stopping, guys. I really appreciate it. We'll see you again next time. I don't know when I'll be doing it. I just want to get on tonight and do a little practice on the board, so I want to produce some quality video time. So, and for me to start out doing this is why I was hoping I'd have help on the panel. I'm always going to drop the panel so people can come up. So I'd appreciate that if you do. In the meantime, God bless. Have a good day. And remember, I love you, and I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back.